What's up, my fellas? Before we dive in, do me a favor and smash that like button and drop a comment. It really helps the channel out. Alright, let's get straight into it. A dark hallway. Chandeliers flicker over stone, and something hisses in the black. Twin demonic shapes whispering just out of sight. Then blood sprays across cracked glass. A torn hand slams into the wall, and a man screams through the pain. That damned old man. How could he do this to me? There's no way he's dying here. Not like this. Not like a dog. His name is Jooheon Suh, 38 years old, and as a monster with glowing eyes closes in, he accepts the truth. He's going to die today. So where did everything go wrong? To answer that, he has to go back 15 years, to 2025, the year tombs suddenly appeared all over the world. Massive earthquakes always came first. Then beams of light would descend, tombs would rise even in the middle of modern cities, and deep inside them waited the relics. Those relics turned the world upside down. Every historical civilization carries old stories soaked in emotion and power, stories generations lived and died by, and all of that crystallized into artifacts. Relics grant their owners supernatural, overwhelming abilities, and once the story spread, people with nothing left to lose threw themselves into expeditions to find them. Jooheon joined those ranks, crawling through caves and death traps for years, and his grinding finally paid off. In a dim chamber, he found a truly incredible one, the Archaeologist's Relic, an artifact holding in-depth information on every tomb and every relic on Earth. He had hit the jackpot. With this, he could stop living so miserably and start over clean. Except, he was one step too late. The world had already established a new order, built by the self-serving elites who got a jump start on collecting. With the powerful already entrenched, his only option left is working for the power-hungry. His exceptional archaeological skill gets him scouted by the huge corporation TKBM because the work is dangerous, and more than a few times he'll have to dirty his hands. His job title, Tomb Raider. Using his excavation ability, he hides inside tombs and forbidden zones, stealing relics before anyone knows they exist. The raiding team he leads posts tremendous results, and on the back of those results, CEO Taejun Kwon climbs all the way to the top. But here's the poison in it. The more power Kwon gains, the more Jooheon is despised, called garbage for the work that made his boss rich. Still, he never imagined it ending like this. This mission was a trap laid by Kwon himself, hanging his own raiders out to die. Why? Their skills were too good. He felt threatened. That cowardly snake. The monster's jaw snapped shut. Bleeding, half-crushed, Jooheon still finds the strength to roar at the overgrown snake. It ate his whole crew, and it still isn't satisfied? Fine. Go ahead and swallow him, because he'll rip its guts apart from the inside out. And Kwon, even if he dies here, he swears he'll come back as a ghost and haunt that man for the rest of his cursed life. Then, cutting through the chaos, a voice. My goodness, you are a noisy one. The air itself freezes. Something with a glowing red eye rumbles in the dark. A relic is speaking to him. The voice sounds surprised he can even hear it. But Jooheon has heard relic voices before, and he snaps right back. Whatever god this is, kill the snake and let him out. The voice just asks the obvious. Can he survive in that condition? He's basically split in two, clinging to a feeble scrap of life. He can only huff through the blood. This is the end of your lowly life, the voice declares, and then, strangely, it softens. He possesses exceptional talent. It is a pity they met too late, that he was forced to struggle his whole life in the dirt. Jooheon snarls back. Stop talking like you know anything about him. Does it think he wanted to live this way? His life? Even now, thinking about it makes his blood boil. That damned geezer Kwon. He's going to kill him no matter what. And the entity laughs. It finds him amusing. Truly a waste to watch him die like this. Light erupts through the tomb. I will give you a chance. The words land twice, like a verdict. Out of the glare rises a crow with burning, glowing wings, and the voice issues its challenge. Let's see if you can truly claim the throne of the king. King? What king, you feathered lunatic? And what kind of relic even was that? Heroic class. No, a whole new class, and it looked like a crow. Then the panic hits. Wait, his legs. The light swallows him whole. When it fades, he's staring at a desk, a computer, a man in a brown jacket. A police station. What is going on? An officer barks at him for identification, thoroughly sick of this muttering drunk taking up a chair. Jooheon's mind races through the options. Did the crow do this? Is it a dream? A dying hallucination? No. Everything feels far too real for that. The desk, the fluorescent light, the annoyed cops groaning about paperwork, dying to close this case and get home. He was bleeding out in a sealed tomb 1 heartbeat ago. Now he's sitting in a Korean police station like nothing happened. Then it hits him. What? It's 2025? That can't be right. The year was definitely, but the digital clock on the wall reads January 1st, 2025. And that high schooler across the room looks familiar. He remembers now. After drinking on New Year's, he'd gotten into a scuffle with exactly that brat. His fist clenches. Then this is real. He really got sent 15 years into the past. The crow's challenge echoes in his skull. Let's see if you can truly claim the throne of the king. And suddenly the pieces align. If it's January of 2025, the world is still peaceful. This is before the relics appeared, which means every one of those high-ranking, God-tier relics is still sitting untouched in its tomb, waiting. If that's the case, then this time, he can preemptively grab all of the relics before anyone else even knows they exist. And his edge is bigger than timing. All of his previous knowledge and memories are intact. 15 years of maps, locations, secrets. He could seek out tombs no one else on Earth knows exist. He starts laughing right there in the station. He's getting excited. After the tombs appeared and he survived all those life-threatening runs, he didn't think that feeling still existed in him. But today is just full of surprises. First, that a tomb still existed out there deadly enough to kill a raider of his caliber. Second, that the shifty geezer Taijun Quan would knowingly send his own crew into a death trap. And third, that at death's door, he'd be thrown 15 years back instead. He doesn't know how or why, but this is a huge opportunity. He can steal, no, claim every relic before anyone moves. Then reality interrupts. An angry mother screaming that he assaulted her child, a senior in high school. Pay the settlement quietly or go to jail. That's the ultimatum. But even 15 years removed, he remembers this day perfectly. The kid provoked him, wouldn't leave him alone, and was clearly waiting to get pushed so his family could cash in. Settlement money. Right, that's the other problem. This version of him is broke. No money, no archaeologist's pick, his main weapon, not even his basic tools. How is he supposed to raid anything like this? The mother swings a slap at his face, and his hand snaps up and catches it clean. He blocked it. So the 15 years of fighting experience carried over into this body too. Well, that's one good thing. Calm down, lady. Your son started the fight, and don't you both realize how ridiculous you're acting? She shrieks and swings again. He twists her aside without effort. His body feels light. Of course, none of the relic sickness, none of the side effects. Not yet. The cops finally explode. All of you, cut it out. You're inside a police station. Jooheon just shrugs and lays it out flat. He has no money to give people like them. So if they want to jail him, go right ahead. The room sputters. Is he racing to start his criminal record? He made a big mistake. But his answer is ice cold, because he's the only one here who knows the future. A criminal record? Soon, that won't matter at all. Because once the tombs and their relics appear, the world will be thrown into lawless chaos, and yesterday's rap sheets will be kindling. The real question gnaws at him instead. Exactly how is he supposed to start with nothing? And that's when he sees it, words floating in the empty air. Tomb Raider Jooheon Suh. He blinks hard. Have his eyes gone bad? Great. Now he's seeing things. Ding. The floating window sharpens and insults him to his face. Jooheon Suh, a pitiful pickpocket who can't even wield a shovel. Charming. But only one kind of thing can do something like this. A relic. He shouts straight into the air. Hey, Crow. Are you watching right now? What did you do to him? The window answers with a gift instead. A new skill, Spy, rank F. He stares. Is this, like a game status window? Is that Crow saying his life is some kind of game now? Before he can even process it, a quest drops in glowing letters. New quest. Awaken the 4 hidden talents of a Tomb Raider. The officer snaps at him to be quiet. Sorry, sorry. And that's when the strangest part sinks in. Nobody else reacts. All this flashing light, and he's the only one who can see it. He tests the skill, and it's amazing. It works exactly like the window says. He can see everything within 3 feet of him in perfect, magnified detail, right down to a spider crossing the floor. He knows this power. It's a skill from the archaeologist's relic itself. And the label said 1 of 4, meaning more are coming. If he can regain his old abilities like this, he won't even need to chase down the archaeologist's relic again. But one question won't leave him alone. What is that crow planning? Relics don't usually like helping people. Then a shout cuts in. Jooheon. And his chest tightens. Detective Jooheon Kim, the man who took in an orphan and treated him like his own younger brother, 15 years younger and alive. Jooheon waves the incident off. That brat was a true delinquent. He'll handle it. Jooheon carefully probes. Any reports of ghosts lately? Superpowers? Jooheon laughs. Only his wife's. The way she finds everything he hides. Jooheon sends him home to rest and get better. Alone, Jooheon takes stock. Tombs should already be quietly forming in scattered places, but they haven't caused a single incident yet, which makes right now the perfect window to move, especially with every skill from his previous life apparently transferring over. The wall he keeps hitting is money. In the beginning, most of the truly good relics surfaced in Europe and beyond. How does a completely broke man arrange international flights? Then, right on cue. Hey, Jooheon Suh. What is he doing lazing around instead of working? Shouldn't the newest hire be putting in the hours? His old employers, street thugs turned art brokers, running a small gallery with the big sister who leads them. A slow grin spreads across his face. Well, looks like he just found his funding. Back in high school, he needed quick cash and signed on with these people, and never once got an ounce of respect for it. They strung him along on dirt-poor wages and put him through absolute hell. And the memory is still fresh when the thug steps up, demanding to know why he isn't answering. The man swings. Wham! And it's the thug who hits the floor, staring up in disbelief. Jooheon looks down at the pile of them and delivers his resignation. Tell your big boss he's done working for her. They can barely process it. He's trying to quit? Is he insane? Oh, and one more thing before he leaves. He cracks his knuckles, joint by joint. His back pay and his severance package. Hand them over. For a second there's silence. Then the boss bursts out laughing, howling that you really do see all sorts of crazy things if you live long enough. Right, guys? All right, you little punk. Let's make this day memorable. A blur of yellow light, and the boss is eating fists, his men screaming as he crumples. The crew can't believe their eyes. How is that guy so fast? Didn't this rookie completely suck at fighting? Their boss screams at them to shut up and attack all at once, and one by one, they drop. Jooheon isn't even breathing hard. This is what 15 years of self-defense training buys you. Honestly, he feels a little bad for them. His body still remembers every movement he asks of it, but he can also tell this younger frame isn't conditioned for a long brawl, so he needs to finish fast. Humiliated past reason, the boss draws a blade with a ringing shing. This ungrateful dog is biting the hand that feeds him. Guess they'll have to kill him to get the message through. His own men panic. Boss, if you're not careful with that knife, we're in serious trouble. But Jooheon's eyes have narrowed at something else entirely. Wait, isn't that knife a relic? Why does this thug have it? Anyway, the boss lunges screaming for his death, blades slashing down, and Jooheon's only thought is simple. That's mine now. His hand snaps out and locks the slashing arm mid-swing. You got balls, pulling a knife on me. The boss chokes. His crew drops to their knees begging him to let their boss go. Instead, Jooheon plucks the knife neatly out of the man's grip. Ah, my knife. And smiles. He'll take good care of this. Then, almost politely, you know, this is how you're actually supposed to use this thing. His eyes ignite with blue light, energy pouring off them, and the relic reveals its nature. Oh ho, so it lets him see their organs and their bones. He starts laughing. Then he simply vanishes from their sight, and the alley fills with the machine gun rhythm of a beating nobody can even follow. The boss shrieks as shallow cuts open across him. This punk really dared to cut him. Jooheon examines the blade, unimpressed by the whining. Quite instinctive to use. Convenient. Stop crying. The cuts aren't even deep. But if the money doesn't appear right now, if anyone draws on him again, hand it over if you don't want to die. A trembling "why yes, sir," settles the negotiation. Later that night, outside the Xi'an Gallery, the phone call from Big Sis detonates. What did you say? You got beaten up by Jooheon Suh, and he took all your money? Did you really think that would pass as an excuse? Say something that makes sense. Hyungtae swears he doesn't understand it either. Yesterday that guy didn't even know how to take a cheap shot in a fight, and today he was practically a monster. She grits her teeth. Fine. How much did he take? All of it. The entire bank account. And all the sample products they were. The samples too? Big Sis erupts into a string of rage the censors can barely keep up with. Hyungtae stammers out the rest. Jooheon said the money they had wasn't enough, so? Flash back to the shakedown. What are you guys, bums? Don't you have any more than this? They swear it's everything. He glares, snaps a bank card in half like a threat, and promises that if he finds more hidden, they're dead. Then his eyes land on something on the shelf. A golden Buddha statue. Oh, not bad. This looks like it might just pay off their debt. And their reaction tells him everything. Ugh, anything but that, please. He grins. If the word please is coming out of their mouths, it must be a pretty valuable piece, am I right? He walks off with it while they chase him down the alley screaming that he really can't take that. Big Sis hears all of it and gives one order into the phone. Find it. Go and get it back this instant, you morons. While the gallery scrambles, Jooheon carries the Buddha into an antique art center for appraisal, and the appraiser shrugs it off. This thing's probably not worth $50. Stick it somewhere as decoration. Really? That can't be right. Trust me. One look and I can tell. Nobody buys stuff like this. Jooheon walks out frowning. That's weird. Hyungtae was acting like it was worth millions, but it's just a cheap trinket? His senses still insist this thing is worth money. Or did he misjudge it because he no longer has the Archaeologist's relic backing him up? Then, ding. Spy skill activated. You detect a suspicious essence coming from within the Buddha statue. His eyebrows climb. There's something inside the statue. So, that's what this is about. He knew there was no way Hyungtae would beg over a $50 decoration. He picks up a knife, grinning at the golden belly. Shall we see what's inside? Slice. The statue opens, and a little bottle rolls out across the floor. Well, what do we have here? He recognizes it instantly. An illegal drug, the kind where you put a few drops on a cigarette and smoke it. And this stuff is seriously expensive. So those clowns were into drug trafficking too? Then the bigger thought lands. Now that he thinks about it, they own hundreds of pieces of art. What if every single piece has the same thing stuffed inside? He picks up the phone. Yo, Detective Jianwo, it's me. The reward for reporting drug trafficking is like $100,000, right? Meanwhile, outside the Xi'an Gallery, Big Sis is groveling to her buyer. No, Mr. President. It isn't that the goods aren't ready. She's only suggesting they delay a little while the police are watching. She bows to the dial tone, apologizing over barking dogs, then screams at the deadline. Stingy old man. Why would she pocket the money herself? Then the door bursts open. Big Sis, they got everything. We're ruined. Police flood into the gallery as she stands frozen. What is the meaning of this? We received a tip, an officer explains, that you were smuggling and distributing drugs. What drugs? They only. And the detective sighs. Why do criminals always say the same thing? It's amazing. The evidence is already collected, and they know this isn't everything. Most of the goods sit in warehouses, correct? Her mind races. Did they find the Gyeonggi province warehouses too? Even if they did, every room has its own security. She screams that being police doesn't give them the right to wreck someone's business, and then the radio report lands. All 600 artworks at the Weizong City warehouse checked. Drugs found. The handcuffs click shut. Wait, how did they open every single room? Simple, the officer says. They had help from an inside man. Cut 2. Jooheon, there's a room over here that hasn't been opened yet. Oh, really? The police watch in disbelief as Jooheon punches in code after code, every door swinging open. That's pretty amazing, one marvels. How do you know all these codes? He shrugs. I just have a pretty good memory. And it's true. A good memory is his one and only talent, and it's probably why Kyungju's team found him so useful in the first place. Back when he started, the constantly changing passcodes were annoying, so he simply memorized every single one, never thinking it was strange, never dreaming he'd use them like this. And the codes aren't the only thing stored in that head of his. With the reward money coming, he can finally use everything he knows about the tombs and start collecting relics. Inside, the officers whistle at the hall. These bastards had huge nerve. Jooheon, you helped us on a big bust. My pleasure, he says. Oh, but one small favor. Cut to the boss woman, thrashing against her handcuffs, screaming this is ridiculous. Let go of me. Then a phone gets shoved into her face. Jooheon wants to talk to her? The officer can barely hide his grin. My inside man really wants a word. And Jooheon lets her have it. Hey, you old hag. You should have treated me better. When someone does work for you, you pay them properly. Her blood runs cold. That voice, Jooheon Suh. Did he do this? He isn't finished. Also, a little free advice. Switch up your security codes every 6 months or so. Anyway, enjoy your life in jail. The line clicks dead and she erupts, dragged off into the night, still howling that she'll get him for this. Is this how he repays her after everything she did for him? The city skyline just glitters, indifferent. Jooheon strolls the night streets, hands in pockets, grinning at nothing. Man, that felt good. His phone buzzes. Jooheon. Jooheon, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. You'll get your reward soon. He smiles at the screen. Jooheon has always worried about him too much, but he doesn't need to anymore. The seed money is secured, which means the real work begins, hunting down relics. And there's a deadline burning in his chest, because he is going to find them before that Taijun bastard does. He has to. Then he crests the rooftop and stops dead. Where's my house? The view answers for him. His entire apartment block is gone, swallowed whole, buried under a colossal tomb that has erupted through the city. And Jooheon knows exactly what he's looking at. That is, without question, a tomb made by a relic. Down on the street, it's pure chaos. People shoving and shouting, a baby wailing, tempers snapping in every direction. When did I shove you? Calm down. But while the crowd panics, Jooheon's memory is doing what it does best. Now that he thinks about it, in his first life his roommate called him around this exact time, freaking out that their house had disappeared. Jooheon was slaving away for Kyungju and couldn't leave, and when he finally got home, everything was back to normal. Which means someone was able to complete this tomb back then. And if someone cleared it, that someone is probably still around here somewhere. He can't allow anyone else to intercept it. That relic is his. Then a familiar voice cuts through the noise, pleading, please don't do this, don't shoot me. That voice. There he is. His roommate, Donghyun Kim. A soldier is screaming in Donghyun's face, gun drawn. Shut up, just follow my instructions. Wham! Jooheon drops him where he stands. How dare you pull a gun on a civilian? Then, casually, over his shoulder, yo, been a long time, Donghyun. Still can't stand up for yourself, huh? While the soldier coughs his way back to consciousness, Jooheon's mind is racing. Why did they send so many soldiers here? Something's off. He starts asking questions and gets stonewalled. That tomb is classified. Too bad, because these people might be his competitors, and he needs to know if the military learned about relics this early. So he plants his feet. I live here. I have a right to know. The soldier threatens to report him to the authorities. Jooheon doesn't blink. Don't make this worse than it needs to be. I just want some information. The rattled soldier finally cracks and spills everything. They're planning to blast that thing open so they can explore what's inside. Jooheon almost laughs in his face. Blast it open? You can't open a tomb that way. The soldier reassures him, they have foreign experts too. Everything will be fine. Foreign experts. Uh-huh. Now he gets it. And now he knows exactly who else is circling this prize. So he turns on the charm. Thanks for telling me. I feel a lot safer now. All right then, keep up the good work. It's a bit chilly tonight, so take care of yourself. And with a flick, he's gone, melting into the dark. Donghyun calls after him, Jooheon, hey. Nothing. A bystander mutters that the guy is acting weird today. Behind them all, the massive dome sits in silence, waiting. Meet the foreign experts. Linda Walker, American CIA agent, pacing on the phone. Are you sure the Korean government doesn't know anything about the tombs yet? She's positive her handler is wrong about something, because they sent way too many soldiers. Her orders come down anyway. Investigate the tomb thoroughly, and if possible, retrieve the relic. Understood. Then a voice purrs behind her, and her blood spikes. You're Kiyoshi Abe, Japanese excavation agent, smiling like a cat. Why so surprised? We're a neighboring country. It's more natural for me to be here than you. He looks her operation up and down. It appears you guys take thieving quite seriously. She recites the cover story. The U.S. is simply recovering relics to hand over to Interpol. Oh, that's rich, he says. Then if Japan wants it for academic research, will you hand it over? Tense smiles all around. Jooheon clocks them instantly from the shadows. Would you look at this? They stick out like sore thumbs, a CIA agent with such pretty hair and an idiot from Japan. And he remembers how this really worked. When tombs started popping up all over the world, nobody knew where tombs and relics came from. But even then, a handful of countries already knew relics existed, and those countries investigated in secret and even stole the relics they found on other nations' soil. Those thieves in suits. He glares at the pair by the car. I dare you to try and take this one. It's mine. But something puzzles him. Why are they just standing there? Then it clicks. Oh, I see. Neither of those guys is an actual expert. Neither of them can open this tomb. Fine then. I'll take the lead. He steps up to the tomb wall, and there they are, the strange characters crawling across the stone. These are called tomb glyphs. And here's the thing about relics. They're funny creatures. They explain everything about themselves in these writings, inside and out, like they think they're the main characters of a fairy tale. Which means if you can read the glyphs, they will tell you everything, including where the entrance is. Of course, almost nobody on Earth can read them, so really they're a kind of trap. But he's not just anyone. Okay, entrance found. Ding. Light floods his vision. Expert cryptographer. You have gained a title and unlocked a new skill. The Tomb Raider's basic skills begin to awaken. 2 of 4, including Spy, rank F, the ability to see everything within a 3-foot radius in perfect detail. Great. Now get out of my face. I can't see. 2 more skills to unlock. He follows the glyph's directions away from the crowd, down to a desolate riverbed under a bridge, where a single glowing glyph burns on a pedestal like a signature. Here it is. The tomb's true lock. He draws the stolen sword, rolls his shoulders, and says the magic words. All right. Open sesame. Slash. The blade tears through the seal, and the night detonates. A pillar of force erupts across the city skyline, energy crackling outward in waves as something ancient comes unsealed for the first time in this life. Jooheon stands in the middle of it, completely unbothered. Then, ding, a system panel flashes into the air, warning. There will be an imminent emission of intense energy in this location. He reads it and smiles. Yeah, that's the idea. Light explodes into the sky, and the whole perimeter loses its mind. Soldiers point and shout. The tomb entrance appears to have opened. That light is the entrance. Jooheon plays crowd control like a pro. You guys stay here. There could be a second explosion. Keep civilians away from this vicinity. Then he bolts. And of course Linda and Abe are right on his heels. She's not fooled for a second. Humph. So you lie every time you open your mouth. Fine. If they insist on following, that's their funeral. At the shining entrance, even he has to squint. Damn, it's too bright. He can't see the bottom. So he tosses something down and listens. Splash. There's water at the bottom, and it sounds pretty deep too. He weighs his options for exactly 1 second. Well then, HUP. And he jumps. Splash. He surfaces inside the tomb, shakes the water off, and hears the commotion above. Looks like those dumbass followed me. Time to be a bad host. He wades to the wall and reads the inscriptions, because remember, a tomb tells you everything about itself, including its defenses. Let's see here. I think I'll have to send them some trouble. He finds exactly what he needs. Yeah, this trap should work. Below, Linda hits the water and comes up retching, coughing. This is sewage water. Abe surfaces beside her, dripping and smug. You just jumped without looking, like a real genius. Humph. Then both of them freeze. Krrr. A sound in the dark, grinding, growing louder by the second. What's that noise? It's getting louder. And then a wall of water blasts out of the tunnel and takes both agents clean off their feet. While the two agents flounder and curse somewhere in the flood, damn it, Jooheon walks calmly deeper in, following the glyphs, until a huge cave mouth opens before him. Found it. The trial chamber. He looks down at the stolen sword in his hand. Since this is the only thing I have, I guess I have to use it. He tosses it into the swirling pool. Sploom. The water churns, rises, and a colossal white serpent breaks the surface, tears streaming down its enormous face. Yet another poor soul who has lost their things to the depths? It weeps. Now tell me, between this gold knife and this silver knife, which one is yours? Jooheon just stares up at the ancient guardian, at the glittering blades, at the whole solemn performance, and smirks. What an obvious riddle. He knows this relic. It's called the Axes of Gold and Silver, straight out of Aesop's fables, The Honest Woodcutter, and there are versions of that story in countries all over the world, which makes this an easy trial for any foreigner to clear. But this time, it's his turn. Neither of those are mine, he answers. Oh ho, says the serpent, pleased, and produces his own stolen dagger. Then, is this one yours? And here's the trap within the trap. Answer honestly, and he gets the dagger back along with the gold and silver. The perfect score. However, Jooheon raises a hand. Wait a minute. Can I check it to make sure it's mine? You may. His fingers close around the blade, and he stabs it straight into the serpent. Schlunk. The trial shrieks in agony. What are you doing? You were so close to completing this trial. Why? Shut the hell up, he snarls. I don't trust you. Even if I pass this trial, who guarantees the reward is something good? Who's to say your gift won't turn me into a psychopathic killer? The serpent recoils. How does a human know about that? Because he remembers. In his first life, the Axes of Gold and Silver turned their original owner into a serial killer. A cursed relic, handed out as the prize for an honesty trial. How's that for irony? The furious serpent swallows him whole, and he carves his way out through its throat. Just quietly submit, you relic. And here the story pauses to teach you the world's cruelest rule. Yes, those who conquer tombs are granted abilities by their relics. That was called the normal relationship. However, a relic's true nature is to hate and harm humans. Prolonged contact with a relic slowly destroys its owner. And in Jooheon's first life, that poison made the few users holding healing relics unimaginably rich and powerful. Men like CEO Kwon, the man who worked Jooheon like a slave. That's why, this time, there will be no friendliness with relics. Ever. The serpent thrashes and screams that it hurts, and Jooheon presses down harder. I'll force you to surrender through domination. Stop this at once, human. Hurts, doesn't it? Let's see how long you last, because I'm going to pour out my dominance on you. Another rule, so you understand what he's doing. Using a relic requires a talent trait, or the relic sways the user instead. Scholars count 3. Affinity, cooperating and building healthy bonds with relics. Dominance, coercing a relic into obedience. And synergy, when owner and relic are simply, naturally attuned. Most people chase affinity. It's the easiest road. But the easy road carries a terrible price. When owners grew too friendly with their relics, the relics released a poison that made them sick, hospital beds full of the most devoted users. So if this relic wants affinity, too bad. Obey me, relic. If you won't submit, I'll just break you into a million pieces. Want to bet whether I can? The serpent's final wail is almost pitiful. Why? But humans are supposed to desire us. Splush. The waters collapse. Success. A golden axe drops neatly into his open hand. The trial conquered backwards, on his terms. Ding. The one who survived the tombs. You have acquired a title, which has awakened a new skill. Tomb Raider basic skills, 3 of 4. He turns the axe over, satisfied. Oh, another skill. Only one left to activate. I wonder what I'll have to do for that one. He gets his answer immediately. Ding. The Relic Abuser. You have unlocked a title. Your dominance talent has increased. Your affinity talent has decreased. He barks at the sky. Hey, Crow, what sort of blackmail is this? Then shrugs. Fine, whatever. I don't care if my affinity goes down. He was never going to be nice to these things anyway. Meanwhile, footsteps. Abe has found the chamber. I found it. It's the pond. It's exactly as prophesied. Ha ha. He uncorks a bottle and drops it into the water. All right. Come out, my little relic. Splash. Silence. Nothing. From the shadows, Jooheon watches with the golden axe already in hand. Dumbass. You're too late. Heh heh. Still, those two are going to keep being a headache for him. His grip tightens on the sword. Should I get rid of them now? Then, ding, another notification interrupts the thought. A status window blooms over the stolen blade. Egyptian funeral knife. Rank C, common, consumable relic. Number of uses, 54 of 100. He stares at the counter. The number of uses, there's only about half left. So even relics run out. Every swing has been spending a dwindling resource. Haha. Is this your way of telling me to think carefully, Crow? Below, Abe is melting down. Why isn't there any response? My relic. The prophecy said all I had to do was drop a relic into the pond. Linda pounces on the slip. Prophecy? So Japan does have someone wielding a prophetic relic. Then she goes cold, spotting indentations and footprints in the ground. What if someone already took this relic? Someone got here first. Clatter. A stone rolls in the dark, and both agents bolt toward the sound. Jooheon smirks. That was easy. Relic, close the tomb. The tomb obeys. Rumble. Stone grinds shut around the two screaming agents. Ah, the exit. Where's the exit? Just go back the way we came. Meanwhile, a manhole cover scrapes aside, and Jooheon hauls himself into the night air, patting himself down. So the tomb exit connected to this manhole. He'll have to throw away these clothes, but that's a cheap price. And behind him, the impossible. The tomb that swallowed his apartment has vanished without a trace, and everyone is waking up as if nothing happened. Donghyun is practically bouncing. Jooheon, it's gone. That large mound is completely gone. That's good. Let's go in and eat. Elsewhere, Abe is screaming into a phone. What did you say? There was another prophecy? A Korean player? The future guide's user probably couldn't read the kanji again, and he thought scholars were working with her. So how did this happen? Then the handler's voice drops, and the whole line goes cold. Be careful with the new player. The prophecy about that person is strange. It says that person is the one who will devour the world. Cut to the world devourer himself, slurping from a can in front of a computer. Glug. His new linguistic skill turns out to be pretty useful. He can search for information in every language on Earth. But there's nothing out there. Relics haven't become known to the world yet. More importantly, he needs to know what CEO Kwon is doing and planning, and he can't find anything good on him either. Donghyun peers over his shoulder at the foreign text. Hey, can you actually understand all that? Of course. Want me to read it to you? No, that's okay. Was he always this smart? Hey, Donghyun. Heard anything about TKBM on the news lately? Donghyun scratches his head. Job hunting? Even if you know that stuff, how's it going to help? Jooheon just shrugs. He already quit that, quote, booger-sized company. Donghyun blinks. That's even more reason to worry. Then remembers, Kyungju's group had a gallery, didn't they? You seem like a different person lately. Cut across town, and the Siang Gallery answers that question. Closed. The police emptied the whole place out. With boss Kyungju behind bars, the leftover gangsters can't run the business. They're completely unemployed, and they know exactly who to blame. This is all because of that Jooheon. One snarls. He won't let it slide. His crew eggs him on. Get revenge for boss Kyungtae and boss Kyungju. He puffs up. I'm Sung Woo-oh, and I always repay my debts. Then a phone rings. Caller ID, Jooheon Suh. What the? Why is this man calling me all of a sudden? The whole crew panics. Is that Jooheon? Answer it. A shaky hello, and Jooheon's first words are a complaint. Why did it take so long to pick up? Sung-woo boils over. You impudent little punk. How dare you jail boss Kyungtae and boss Kyungju, and then just call us? But Jooheon steamrolls right past the outrage with a business question. You guys are still in business, right? Haven't declared bankruptcy yet. Sung-woo sputters. What's it to you? But if all they had to do was close their doors. Good. They're still operational. So Jooheon drops the job. I need you to go to the Midas. The Midas? The world's largest secret auction house, hidden in Las Vegas, where the greatest treasures on Earth change hands, and where Jooheon knows for a fact Taijin Quan acquired a powerful relic right around this time. Here's the play. If Jooheon can keep tabs on the Midas, he can see exactly what CEO Kwon is doing. So the orders come down. Attend this month's auction. Find a few items for me, and find a man. The name is Jack K-Man, also known as JK, an alias Taijun Kwon uses when he doesn't want his real name on record. If he's not there, just report back. Oh, and one more thing, delivered flat as a weather report. Lie to me, and I'll just kill you all. The gangsters explode. You're not making sense. How would guys like us even get into the Midas? Jooheon stays calm. Unlike you, I understand basic commerce. This is a business transaction, you'll be paid. They refuse anyway, screaming they won't do a thing for him. So he sweetly offers to come over and beat sense into them again. Suddenly it's no, wait, Jooheon. Standby confirmed. All right, deal closed. CEO Kwon handled by proxy. Jooheon shoulders his bag and heads out, thinking he might go relic hunting again today. Near Yongdongpo Station, a news broadcast catches his ear. Around 3 this afternoon, an unidentified woman attempted suicide in the station square. To normal people, a tragedy. To Jooheon, possibly a sign. Strange incidents sometimes precede a tomb. Then again, it could be completely unrelated to relics. But just in case, he ducks into a convenience store, where a stranger starts barking at him in Japanese for blocking the aisle. How long does it take to pick something? Smugly assuming the Korean can't understand a word. Jooheon smiles to himself. Oh, I get it now. If this guy is here, a tomb is coming. Because around this time, Japan had a prophetic relic user feeding them predictions. Then he turns and answers in flawless Japanese. Shut up, you rude jerk. The stranger short-circuits, you understood? Then Jooheon flips to Korean mid-sentence, and the man loses it completely. Now you're speaking Korean. Are you messing with me? Jooheon shrugs. Well, you started it, dumbass. Cheerfully hopping between languages purely to infuriate him. This linguistic skill really is useful. But under the pettiness, Jooheon is scanning. This guy has a relic, and he's not even trying to mask its aura. He really is a dumbass. And now Jooheon wants it. So he engineers an accident. A violently shaken can, one friendly tap, PSSHH, spraying beer all over the man's clothes. Oh my, I'm so sorry. The can must have been shaken somehow. No idea how that happened. In the chaos, his eyes catalog the goods. A bracelet relic on the wrist, and a small case relic. Stealing them right now would be too obvious. Patience. He plays broke instead. Hey man, let it slide. I've got no money. Then the finisher. Oh, you dropped something. Jooheon holds up the man's ID, reading it aloud. Japanese excavation team. You should really take better care of this. The agent snatches it back, heart pounding. Did he see anything? If people find out a Japanese excavation team member is operating in Korea, things could get very ugly very fast. And right on cue, boom. The ground roars. Screams erupt outside. What is that sound? An earthquake. People are thrown to the pavement as the world shakes itself apart. Jooheon doesn't even flinch. Bingo. This guy was definitely waiting for this exact tomb to appear. Sure enough, the agent is already on his phone, laughing over the noise. The tomb is appearing as we speak, just as predicted. But the voice on the other end cuts him off cold. I know. There's something more important you need to hear. A new prophecy just came in. The Korean who took the gold and silver axe relic is near you, right now. And one more line, stranger than the rest. Be wary of alcohol. The agent's brain stalls, then detonates. The beer. The beer. That smug can-spraying jerk was the one from the prophecy. He whips around, but the sly Korean is already gone, vanished into the panicking crowd of Station Square. Priorities rearrange instantly. Forget the tomb, find that man first. And he barks into the phone to report the next prophecy the second it arrives. Meanwhile, Jooheon slows, glancing back at the epicenter. Why is he feeling such a fierce energy? This is completely different from last time. Looks like it's going to be a wild relic, the kind that doesn't wait politely in its tomb. And then a voice barks behind him. Itchy why? You. It's the agent, and this time there's a gun. Don't move, unless you want a hole in your head. What you again? Open your bag, hurry. Are you deaf? But before either of them can move, the ground answers first. Roar. A glow splits the air, and system windows chime over the chaos. Warning. imminent emission of intense energy in this location. The world cracks like glass, light bleeding through every seam. Flash. Then boom. A detonation that swallows the whole square. When Jooheon's vision clears, they aren't in Seoul anymore. Broken blades stud the walls like teeth. Around him, ordinary civilians groan awake in the debris. What happened? Where are we? Hey, wake up. Jooheon's jaw tightens as he counts heads. A lot of civilians got dragged in, and there's no way that Relic pulled them in here by accident. Jooheon knows this place, a tomb filled with broken weapons. He came here once, before he died. This is the tomb of Muramasa, a family of medieval Japanese swordsmiths whose blades were famous across the land. But there was bad blood between the Muramasa family and Shogun Tokugawa Ieyasu, so he ordered every Muramasa blade destroyed, and rumors spread that the swords were cursed. Maybe that history explains why this tomb is so hostile. Ding! Warning! The Relic's bloodthirsty aura is permeating your body. Your skin is being damaged. He'll have to clear this one quickly. Then cold metal presses his back again. Don't move. Open your bag and your pockets. Jooheon sighs. If you want to shoot me, just shoot. Though it'd be better if you didn't, because it won't work. Bang. Nothing. See, what did I tell you? Modern weapons don't work inside tombs. Relics refuse to give humans any advantage. The agent's eyes go wide as the pieces click. How do you know that? The one who took the gold and silver axes. It was you. Jooheon doesn't even bother denying it. That's right. They're mine now, so just forget about them. Then, before the man can blink, Jooheon seizes him. You're really annoying, so back off, and hurls him straight into a waiting trap. Ghostly white hands erupt from the dark, dragging him down as he shrieks. Have fun, dumbass. That trap is going to be a real pain. While the agent screams somewhere below, wrestling grasping spirits, the kidnapped civilians huddle together in the gloom, one wrong breath from stampeding. So Jooheon strolls up wearing his most harmless smile. Hello everyone. Everything is going to be all right. No need to panic. I know a little about this place. Now, could you all come a little closer? The civilians hesitate, whispering. That other guy had a gun. What if he's dangerous? But even so, they can't just abandon him down there. And speak of the devil, the agent claws his way back, drenched in sweat, and instantly puts on a hero's voice. Please stay calm. I'm a member of the Japanese excavation team, trained for situations exactly like this. I promise to get everyone out safely. Sure he does. Meanwhile, off to the side, Jooheon inventories his winnings, because when he threw the man into that trap, he picked his pockets on the way. A rope bracelet, and inside the case, a rice cake. He recognizes them immediately. Relics from the folktale of the brother and sister who became the sun and moon. The tiger chasing a family for their rice cakes. The rope descending from heaven. The ranks aren't high, but these will be useful. Into the bag they go. Ding. The petty pickpocket. You have acquired a title, which has activated a new skill. Nimble fingers, rank F. Touch an item once, and you can effectively unlock it. And with that, the message he's been waiting for. You have successfully awakened all 4 skills lying dormant within you. You are now a full-fledged tomb raider. Jooheon stares at the floating windows and clicks his tongue. That little crow, it really is treating him like a game character. Then he shrugs it off. Fine. Toy with me all you want. You promised a reward, so I won't complain about the process. Just make sure you pay up. His moment of peace lasts exactly that long. Screams tear through the tomb. Stay back. Save me. What's happening? The civilians scatter in terror, and every voice points the same direction. Something is coming from down below. A girl with a blade is swinging wildly at the trapped civilians. Somebody stop her. Kid, calm down. But she can't hear anyone. She's been possessed, and Jooheon reads the whole trap in a glance. That knife takes hold of anyone it cuts, so every extra person is another chance to spread. Worse, the bridge over this pit grows longer depending on how many people are inside. More people, more victims, more distance to cross. This entire setup is designed to feed. So who threw you all in here? He asks. Was it that Japanese guy? The answer confirms it. Yeah. He sang some weird song, and his trap just disappeared. Then he said we all needed to die to protect some secret. That prophetic relic user probably gave him the order directly. And as if the pit weren't enough, a warning rings out. Watch out. The walls are bristling with knives. Steel meets steel. Clang, clink, thud. As the possessed girl carves through the dark, blades raining around her. Watch out. She's heading toward you. Jooheon weighs the stolen loot in his hand. Should he use his new artifact? Why not? The heavenly rope snaps out like a living whip, coiling around the girl mid-charge and binding her tight. How convenient. The same rope that saved the brother and sister works just fine on a possessed kid. He walks up and plucks the cursed knife from her locked fingers, gentle as a babysitter. Now, be a good girl. I'll be taking this with me. And then the dark answers him. A voice cackles up from below, delighted and hungry. Who the hell are you? Ha ha ha, not that it matters. Then the order booms through the tomb. Kill them. Kill all the humans. Jooheon's eye twitches. How dare a relic tell him what to do? He checks the captured blade's status window. Muramesa's little fall, rank C, common. One of those worthless knockoff relics that litter tombs like rocks. Nearly 9,000 uses, and still garbage. So the real question stands. Where's the boss relic of this tomb? Nearby, the still-tied agent begs someone, anyone, to do something, while the confiscated knife whistles cheerfully. Human, play with me. That crazy thing. Relics really do cause trouble when left to their own devices. Hey, return to me. Jooheon gathers the civilians. I'm getting you all out of here, but I don't have time for questions. Elsewhere, the agent, free again, is cackling at his own genius. Witnesses dumped in the trap, treasure room located. Now he just retrieves Muramesa, and then he can finally kill that relic-stealing Korean. Except the treasure room is a graveyard. Every single blade, broken. Clang after clang of worthless steel. Where the hell is Muramesa? And then it gets worse. The civilians he left to die come pouring through the entrance. You're dead, you liar. How dare you try to kill us? How did you get out? They swarm him, fists flying. Let's kick his butt. And into this beautiful scene strolls Jooheon, perfectly relaxed. The agent, mid-beat down, spots him. Why you did this? Of course, who else would it be? Honestly, Jooheon can't believe the man couldn't find the relic even with such a head start. Time to show him how it's done. Flash, find the treasure, gold axe. The golden light sweeps the room and stops, right under everyone's noses. You couldn't find something this close? Because Muramesa is a broken-up old sword. It'll reveal its true form once activated, and it does. BZZT. The shattered blade hums to life. Arrogant even in pieces. Well done locating me, foolish humans. But there's a catch, and it's a nasty one. My body is pitted and broken. If you wish to use my power, you must offer the blood of 10 sacrifices. I must drink human blood to be restored. And if you cannot fulfill this task, then you shall all be trapped here forever. The room goes dead silent, then cracks apart. Who's talking right now? That's ridiculous. Does that mean 10 of us have to die? It can't be, no way. The civilians spiral into open horror while Jooheon just stands there, unimpressed, like he's heard this exact speech before. Bladed relics are always like this. So, is that your trial? Correct, the sword crows. What are you waiting for? Quickly, kill the humans. Jooheon's answer is 2 words. I refuse. What? Then he shows the legendary blade exactly who it's talking to. I'll give you a taste of my domination. Crackling power floods out of him, and the sword that demanded 10 human sacrifices starts shrieking. What are you doing? The tomb rumbles as Jooheon bears down, voice like a verdict. The one being tested here is you, not me. Submit to me, or shatter into a million pieces. Come quietly and submit, Muramesa. The cursed sword rages back. How dare a human do this to me? And detonates a blast that hurls everything in the room backward, a whiteout of fury and steel. But when the shockwave fades and the rain settles, Jooheon is still standing, hand wrapped around a glowing blade. A cursed legend, dominated into obedience. And across his vision, the words, "Every raider lives for." Tomb cleared. With the boss subdued, the exit opens. Jooheon drops a line down. Climb up this rope, and it'll take you outside. The grateful civilians practically trample each other getting up. Thank you. Thank you. Then his voice stops one man cold. Wait, not you. What exactly were you planning to do to these people once you got up there? The Japanese agent crumbles on the spot. And no, I wasn't going to do anything. I swear it. Just please let me leave. And when begging isn't landing, he pivots straight to bribery. Let me go, and I'll recommend you to my government. Work with the excavation team. We even have the prophetic future guide Relic, an entire department built around it. Way better than working alone. Jooheon's eyebrow rises. That's an interesting proposition. He pumps the man for details. Only the owner can use it? A whole department? I like the sound of that. Fine. You can go up the rope. But you climb last. The agent nearly weeps. I'm saved. While privately sneering, as expected of a simpleton, swayed by a mere 100 grand. He even schmoozes on the climb up, voice dripping honey. You know, I regret what I did earlier. I feel like you and I can really see eye to eye. A person with your talent belongs with us. Jooheon plays along beautifully. Let's talk more business, then. I'm curious, what company backs the Japanese excavation team? Oh, you don't have to worry about that. The agent chirps. It's the famous TKBM company. Uh-huh. Is that so? The smirk that crosses Jooheon's face could cut glass. TKBM, Taijun Kwan's company. The people who fed him to a snake. Slide. He drops down the rope and slams the man clean off it. Thud. Thanks for the info, dumbass. I guess you were willing to say anything to save your own life. But who would ever want to work with a piece of trash like you? The tomb thunders down around the screaming agent. Are you really going to bury me alive? Come back. And Jooheon doesn't even look back. This war with TKBM is only beginning. Subscribe now, because part 2 is coming.